A racist waitress thought she could harass a black man without any consequences. Turns out, she picked the wrong guy to mess with. Before we start, if you want more stories like this, subscribe to our channel where we upload daily stories of racists getting what they deserve. The Hollywood lounge shimmered with a kind of elegance that demanded whispers. Crystal chandeliers cast a golden glow over linen-draped tables, where silverware clinked softly against bone china. Patrons, studio executives in tailored suits, socialites dripping in diamonds, spoke in hushed tones, their laughter as restrained as their bank accounts were not. The staff moved like ghosts in black uniforms, their footsteps silent, their smiles practiced. At the back corner table, Will Smith sat alone. His gray hoodie hung loosely, the hood down, revealing a face scrubbed free of Hollywood glamour. He scrolled his phone, one hand curled around a water glass, his posture relaxed. To the servers, he was invisible, a man who didn't belong. The maitre d' had seated him only after a pointed sigh, as if Will's faded jeans offended the room's symmetry. No one noticed the platinum watch peeking beneath his sleeve. No one saw the owner. A shadow fell across Will's table. Claire, a waitress with a bleach-blonde ponytail and a smirk etched into her lips, hovered over him. Her pen tapped the order pad like a metronome of impatience. "Still Decidin," she drawled, eyes flicking to her watch. "We've got a busy lunch rush, hon." Will glanced up, his voice steady. "The kale salad, please." Claire's laugh was sharp. "Kale salad." She tilted her head, studying his hoodie. "You sure you can afford this place?" The table beside them erupted in laughter at a joke Will couldn't hear. Claire lingered, her hip bumping the edge of his table. A splash of water slopped onto the white linen near Will's elbow. "Oops," she said, not apologizing. He dabbed the spill with his napkin, silent. When she finally left, he flagged her down twice for a refill. 10 minutes passed. Nearby tables received steaming plates. His water glass stayed empty. When Claire returned, she slammed a sweating pitcher on the table. "Here," she snapped, sloshing water over the rim. Drops hit Will's sleeve. "Thank you," he said, quiet, his jaw tightening. Claire leaned in, her voice a stage whisper. "You're welcome, sir." The last word dripped with mockery. Claire returned, leaning over Will's table, her perfume cloying. "You sure you're not lost, honey?" She gestured toward the door with her pen. "The bus stop's 2 blocks down. Might be more your speed." A man at the adjacent table snorted. Will's salad arrived, a wilted heap of greens, and Claire dropped the plate with a clatter. "Bon appetit," she sneered, her voice syrupy with disdain. When Will reached for his water, Claire snatched the glass. "Thirsty? Or just used to handouts?" The word hung in the air. A woman nearby tittered into her champagne flute. Will's fork paused midair. His gaze flicked to Claire's smirk, then to the patron studiously ignoring him. A muscle twitched in his jaw. Later, Claire loomed again, arms crossed. "You've been here an hour. Buy-in time? Or waitin' for a discount?" She laughed, a sharp, ugly sound. "This ain't no charity, boy. Take your broke ass somewhere else." The room seemed to lean in. Will set his napkin down, slow and deliberate. His hands trembled, just once, before stilling. Claire loomed over Will, her lips curled. "You people always leeching off hard work," she hissed, loud enough for nearby tables to hear. "Think you can waltz in here with your handout mentality? Go back to the ghetto where you—" The word ghetto hung like a noose. A server dropped a wineglass. It shattered at Will's feet. The room froze. Claire leaned closer, her voice a venomous whisper. "N." Will stood. The chair scraped backward. Every eye in the Hollywood lounge locked onto him. Claire stumbled back, her smirk crumbling as Will's gaze pinned her, a predator uncoiling. The room held its breath. Claire stumbled back, her smirk slipping as he straightened to his full height. His voice cut through the silence, low and precise. "You've mistaken humility for weakness," he said, eyes locked on hers. "And ignorance for superiority." Claire opened her mouth, to laugh, to retort, but no sound came. A server froze mid-step, a tray of champagne flutes trembling in their grip. The maitre d' paled, recognition flashing across his face. Will stepped closer, his tone unflinching. You see a hoodie and assume poverty. You hear a voice and assume inferiority. But real power doesn't need a costume. He gestured to his plain clothes. It just is. Claire's face flushed. A man at a nearby table muttered, "Oh shit." The room's air thickened, the earlier smugness replaced by unease. Will's gaze never wavered. You've spent this encounter playing a role. Judge, jury, bigot. But roles, he said, softer now, are for actors. The maitre d' lunged forward. Mr. Smith, Claire's eyes widened. Claire's face drained of color. Will slid his hoodie off, revealing a tailored navy suit and a platinum watch glinting under the chandeliers. The maitre d' lunged forward, bowing like a condemned man. Mr. Smith, I didn't realize it was you. The room erupted in gasps. A server dropped a tray. Silverware clattered. Claire staggered back, her earlier bravado evaporating. You're the owner, she whispered, voice cracking. Will stepped forward, his presence commanding the space. A manager rushed in. "Ty Askew." "Sir, I'll handle this." Will raised a hand, silencing him. His gaze returned to Claire. "You judged me by my clothes, my voice, my existence." He gestured to the room. "Yet this place," he paused, "my place, was built on a simple rule: respect everyone." Claire trembled. A busboy stared, wide-eyed. The patrons who'd laughed earlier shifted in their seats, avoiding eye contact. Security arrived, flanking Will. He nodded once. "Escort her out." Will's voice carried across the silent room. "This restaurant isn't a stage for your bigotry," he said, addressing Claire but speaking to everyone. "It's a place where everyone deserves dignity." He turned to the staff. "You all know the rule here: respect first." Claire's protests were shrill. "You can't." "I didn't." "You did," Will cut in, calm but unyielding. "You mocked my voice, my clothes, my existence. You reduced me to a stereotype." His gaze swept the room. "And not one of you," he gestured to the patrons, said a word. "That's how bias thrives." Silence. Security gripped Claire's arms. She thrashed, tears streaking her makeup. "Please. I didn't know it was you." Will stepped closer, his tone softer. "That's the point. You didn't have to." As she was dragged out, her sobs echoed. The room remained frozen. A woman at a nearby table whispered, "Serves her right," while others stared at their plates, shamefaced. Will addressed the staff. "Anyone else confused about our values?" Silence. "Good. Now," he clapped his hands, "let's get back to work." The maitre d' hovered, trembling. "Sir, I'll comp your meal." Will raised a hand. "I don't need a free salad. I need a staff that leads with respect." By evening, the Hollywood lounge buzzed with whispers. Patrons lingered, discussing the scene. A server polished a plaque on the wall. "Respect isn't requested. It's required." 6 months later, the Hollywood lounge buzzed with a different energy. Servers now wore buttons declaring, "Respect is our signature dish," and the menu featured a foreword by Will, "Greatness is measured by how we treat each other." At a charity gala for youth mentorship, Will stood by the entrance, greeting guests. A black server, Jasmine, approached with a tray of champagne. "Table 12's compliments, Mr. Smith," she said, grinning. He'd promoted her to headwaiter after she'd mediated a racial dispute among staff, a policy he'd implemented post-Claire. The plaque near the entrance gleamed, "True excellence is built not on hierarchy, but on the value of every voice." Patrons lingered there, reading it like a mantra. Later, Will watched Jasmine train new hires. "Never assume someone's story," she instructed, her tone firm but kind. He nodded, unseen. As the moon rose, he sipped coffee in his office, a photo of the shattered wineglass from that day framed on his desk. A note beside it read, "Power doesn't roar. It changes the room." Have you ever experienced a moment where someone crossed a line you couldn't ignore? Share your experiences and how you dealt with the situation in the comments. If you enjoyed this and want more content on inspiring Black stories channel like this, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching, and remember, your strength is greater than you think.